Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cooper's Amputee Lifestyle. We're gonna go out and do some oil rig diving. That oil rig right there, that is called Eureka. It's gonna be similar to the other oil rig that we dove on earlier. We're gonna go down and we're gonna probably do about an average depth of 60 feet and less. See what's down there. You probably see some seals, a lot of the brittle stars that are crawling all over, mussels, little tiny anemones. We might even see a little bit of different little species. I do recall there are going to be a little bit of starfish. We have seen some mola sightings in the water, so stay tuned. Let's get wet. Using the boat's GPS, Eureka oil rig is going to be the top dive site on the very top part of this screen right here. Looks like the California sea lions are out swimming around as we're swimming up to the structure. A quick observation on the pilings. Looks like there's a lot of similar life, just like the last oil rig. Brittle stars, mussels, small anemones. In the distance, I see a Garibaldi, which is California state fish, or goldfish crackers, I like to call them. There's also a lot of blacksmith fish. It looks like they're feeding on some jellyfish that are just floating in the water. Everything seems to be food for something else here in the ocean. At first I thought this was a jellyfish, but it's actually a salp. Let's take a closer look at this. Salps are actually a gelatinous zooplankton, and they're a great food source for a lot of the marine life out here in this part of the ocean. It actually looks like there's a mouth opening and closing, like it's taking on little bits of food floating in the water so it can grow and live on and reproduce. Let's take a closer look at some of the life that are hanging out on the pilings here on this oil rig. Here's some strawberry anemones, surrounded by mussels and brittle stars. Here's some brittle stars kind of just clinging onto the sides of these mussels. This is a type of a sea butterfly. We have these in the Puget Sound. They are much smaller. This one is a little bit bigger compared to the ones we have. Let's take a closer look. Now we're kind of swimming to the other side of the platform so we can look for anything else that stands out. Well, here's a larger starfish that stands out over all these little brittle stars. Let's take a closer look. On this side of the platform, I'm starting to notice there's actually some rock scallops that are attached to the pilings.
Looks like here's a Gorgonian fan, very small, stuck to the piling, trying to survive amongst all these brittle stars. I think this is a tree fish. It looks very similar to our painted greenling back in Puget Sound. Here's a very curious Garibaldi, or goldfish cracker, checking out my camera. All the tiny little arms of the brittle stars are just swaying back and forth with the water. There's a very curious goldfish cracker right here. Let's take a close look at all these little tiny little brittle stars. It's almost like they're all stuck in traffic, trying to climb over one another. Here's one for the viewers to identify. If you know what kind of fish this is, leave a comment below. If you like the content we're producing on Cooper's Amputee Lifestyle, you can always leave a tip on each video to show how much you appreciate the content and want to help us create more content by supporting us. You can always check on the little heart that says thanks, and it'll come up with some different denominations that you can donate to help us out. If you even want to, you can even join the channel and become a member and get access to all my early edited content. Thank you. This is a much larger starfish than I've seen before. I wonder if it's like an orchard star. Check out this jellyfish. This is like a comb jelly. It's got brown spots all over it. Much larger than the comb jellies we have in the Puget Sound. Let's take a closer look. When you shine your light at a comb jelly, you get all these little colors on the spectrum that will reflect back at you. It's basically these little propellers that they use for little propulsion to move around in the water. It's really, really interesting to see them in person. As promised, I would get you better footage of comb jelly. I think this is that better footage. I'm glad I was able to find a comb jelly on this trip. Back on the surface at the end of our dive, we see a mola mola. It was a shame we didn't see one underwater, but it was still pretty cool with the clarity we were able to make out the mola mola from the surface on the boat. I just want to thank Ryan and Jessica for making it out on this trip to go diving with us in California. We met them in Belize on the Belize Aggressor 4 when we were doing some diving in Belize. Jessica actually has this really cool website. She sells these paintings that she paints of all like marine life, landscapes, all kinds of really cool stuff. Go ahead and check out her website. It's posted in the description below. That's going to wrap up another dive on Cooper's Amputee Lifestyle, where I'm here to show you that I can combat PTSD and depression due to the loss of my leg by chasing my dreams, hobbies, and adventures, and I would inspire you to go out and do the same. Chase your dreams, hobbies, and adventures. Thank you everybody for your support. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and the bell notification. We'll see you in the next episode.